And Brooklyn Borough President Eric Adams joins me now for more on this. Thanks so much for being here. I wanted to start by getting your take on this closing of schools. Do you think it's the right move to send students back to online learning?
No, I do not. I believe that when you look at the numbers after approximately over 175,000 tests, the numbers are so small, less than 1/4%, 1% of students and faculty were impacted. I think if we have gotten it right anywhere, we have it right in schools. And I think it's a safe place for our students, and we need to continue their learning. And I believe we need to keep the schools open at this time.
Now, many critics are pointing to other countries which have prioritized restrictions on gyms, bars, and restaurants while keeping schools open. What's your take on trying to balance those things in New York City and in the U.S. in general?
It's so important, and you're right. It sends the wrong message when we do not prioritize the education of our children. Because as we fight COVID-19 in the current state, we cannot destroy the long-term state of the educational system. And we did a terrible job. We failed over the last school year. We did not really build in the right infrastructures over the summer months. And now we're putting parents in a level of uncertainty as they look at this current school year. And so if you say you can leave open bars and other locales, but we close our schools, we have to ask ourselves, where are our priorities at this time?
And some sheriffs are calling Governor Cuomo's restrictions limiting private gatherings to 10 people unconstitutional. As a former police officer, what do you make of that? Is this enforceable?
And I think that that's what the legal minds are going to have to figure out. And of course, it's not enforceable to the extent that we believe you can hand down a mandate of stating only 10 people at a Thanksgiving dinner. You don't have the manpower to carry that out. I think the spirit of what Governor Cuomo was attempting to put out is that let's sort of self-regulate ourselves by holding back on those large family gatherings, and by putting a fixed number. It gives everyday New Yorkers and really Americans an idea of let's just really decrease the number. I am not going to have a large gathering at my home. I believe that this is a good time for us to state, let's do this through Zoom, say hello to each other, but let's stay with just the immediate household or families that live in the house.
And what restrictions do you think should be placed on private gatherings? Would you keep things the way they are?
I would just give the advisory, give advice, but when it comes down to what takes place in the home of Americans, I don't believe you can do much of that. Our homes are our castles, and that's something that constitutionally, as Americans, we believe that we should have the right to dictate what takes place. And so I think the best we can do is just give some real strong guidelines and hope that everyone takes on their personal responsibility of trying to stem the tide of this virus. We don't want to cycle out of Thanksgiving and giving not thanks, but giving a disappointment that we did not take the necessary precautions. You should not have the large gatherings that you did, but that's something we can only advise Americans and New Yorkers not to do. We're not going to have the Thanksgiving police kicking doors and demand that loved ones and family members leave the house.
Yesterday, you announced your candidacy to succeed Bill de Blasio as mayor of New York City. What would you do differently to tackle the pandemic?
Well, I think right now, and what we would do just right now as the borough president, I would just communicate better. I think we made a terrible mistake nationally as well as in our local cities. Every New Yorker and every American is not an English speaker. And it's unfortunate that because something is communicated in our English-speaking tabloids, we believe that those who have English as a second language, or those who receive information in a different way, understood what we were saying. We have a large Chinese population, Korean, Yiddish speaking population, other Urdu, and we were not on the ground having real credible messengers communicate in a repeated fashion, getting those PPEs to those local areas, having rapid response teams to really respond on the ground. And I think that we really did not communicate in the many languages and methods that people use to retain and understand information.
All right, Brooklyn Borough President Eric Adams, we appreciate your time today, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Take care.
You too.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.